Joe Rao here at the 2023 World Championships. I've got a new competition for you. Give me your take on your tournament. Got a couple matches in there, got an arbitrage, just didn't fall your way. What's another one? What did you think of?
I'm pretty disappointed, especially not as much with my first day as I am my second day. I felt like I blew a really good opportunity and like a really good road to come back and qualify this weight. And so I'm beating myself up a little bit for kind of being overzealous in that match. I mean, I felt from the start on my feet, I felt like, oh, I'm going to kill this guy. And I kind of like I got my chance on top and scored my point, and I was kind of going for the kill. I wanted to attack him right there. And, I'm one of these guys that's been wrestling a long time. I expect more out of myself in terms of patience and like wrestling IQ, to where I shouldn't have forced any turns. But I locked up that first gut wrench, and I thought I got two. And he was kind of scrambly and kind of flexible in the shoulders and stuff. And I didn't get my two. And I immediately kind of thought, oh, I'm going to like get my front headlock and still get a turn so that we don't end up in like a 1-1 situation, worst case scenario. So I tried to force that front headlock, and I'm really good there. So I have a lot of confidence there, and I went for it. And I'm glad that I'm trying to score, but I think I'm smarter than that. I think if I wouldn't have went for that turn, I would have got back up to the feet, and I still could have got a tech, or I definitely would have got the win. And talking about Avenue, I've wrestled the Czech guy before, and I did really well against him in the finals of Croatia in the Zagreb Open. So I just felt like, man, I'm gonna do this, and I was super excited. I felt really good. I was like a little bit too excited, and I sometimes the American mentality that you learn, it's good, and sometimes it's bad. Like, I want to tech everybody, I want to pin everybody, and like sometimes you got to accept that like on this level it's going to be a chess match sometimes, and you can't force that kind of cut them and take them down again, and kind of folk style that we'd like to wrestle. And there's benefits to that style, but you have to be smarter than forcing things, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm really disappointed in the second day, how I lost, and that if I was going to lose, I wish it would have been in a more in a way where I felt like it was a quality match. It wasn't a smart match, is what I'm saying.
You did get your hands on probably the best guy in the weight class, at least one of the best guys in the weight class. Did that give you a gauge of kind of where you're at when you were going to get back to the point?
Yeah, and I felt really good against him on my feet, and I feel like I could have pushed it more on my feet, and I didn't want to get. The first time I wrestled him was in 2015 in the Spanish Grand Prix. It was a similar match. I felt like I was actually making him look kind of bad on his feet, and I was really, really going for it, but then I got sloppy with my elbows up a little bit. I got really focused on him, and it was working, but then he caught an underhook, and he got me in a really bad situation to where I had to bail, and it was gut, and it was over. So I was like, crap. It was like, I felt like I was doing the right thing, so I tried to do that, but a little bit smarter without getting out of position. But then, yeah, going forward, it's like, yeah, we really got to work on defending parterre. That was another, like, I think, not a smart move, that I felt like I had him on his side or on his back off of his gut wrench, and so I fully just kind of completely got fixated on trying to catch him on his back, and instead of bailing and going back to like the basics of defense, which like he gutted everybody in the tournament so far to attack. So I'm not sure if it would have changed the result, but it's definitely probably would have been the smarter thing to do. Then I just felt him on his back a little bit, so I thought I could catch him there. But anyway, so getting guys with that feel, there's nobody in America usually that turns me. So I'm very untested. Most guys don't even get their lock on me. So I got to find guys that can, international guys, or Coach Justin Ruiz has a really good low gut. So I got to get those feels and take the time. It was a really rushed, season this year for me. I was still coaching Northwestern. I decided to wrestle the Open like the week or two before it, and it was just go, go, go. So there hasn't been a lot of quality time to fix things technically. So.
So, from an outsider's perspective, it seems like the parterre is a difference for us. Like, that's where we are winning these matches. We're either getting up a turn or we're not getting up a turn, right?
Yeah.
From your perspective, just viewing the rest of the team, yourself, how do we break through to where we're getting on top and we're win those matches that we need to in those crucial moments? Seems like that's just we hit a certain point, right? And
Yeah.
we get the turn, and that costs us.
Yeah, and I think it's hard to understand what this is like from a like American point of view or a freestyle or a folk style point of view, because the learning curve is so large, and it is all parterre where like you can go to freestyle and on your feet it's close to folk style, and then parterre it's not forced and there's not as much time given to where Greco it's almost completely a parterre game. It's where all the scoring happens in these big matches. So like us as a team, is the same thing that I said about myself applies to everyone. Like we need to get people of this caliber to wrestle with, and we do go to camps overseas, but I think we need to train with them more than just compete with them, and really get like time and individual work. But like as a program, I think we need to restructure the way we practice, because a lot of our guys are goers. A lot of our guys work really hard. We can do unlimited amounts of hard training, but it's like you're saying, where we can grow is, I think, psychologically and technically, and those things are not as easy to work on as ripping 50 pull-ups or running a bunch of miles or sprints, and that's what we know how to do, and none of our guys are too weak, but the way we train, it's often very competitive, and it's very physically focused, where I think we need to focus technically, and we gotta like change some things, but that takes time and it's hard. And like I'm trying not to compare our team and myself to American freestyle or women or men's, because it's just it's apples to oranges, and like we are like obsessed with turning this around in terms of medals, but like real change takes time, and I think we should be focused on progress. And I feel like if you look at it positively, there has been some progress from world championships to world championships, but having a consistent staff and consistent team, and like everyone being on the same page, speaking the same language, and like a plan that is like transparent to everyone involved is going to make things easier to progress. And we can't just come here and expect to go from 0 medals to a full team of medals. It's not realistic. But are we that far off? I don't think so. But I think we got to change the way we think and train a little bit, which it takes a city, it takes everybody, and it's hard to unite a team of guys coming from very different locations and clubs with different coaches, and so, but I still think we could all make the Olympics and get medals, and it's never out of the question. But yeah, that's kind of my opinions on it, I guess. Yeah.
So for you, I mean, it is unique for you too. That you left your shoes on the mat and decided to come back. What goes into that decision? I mean, blood for punishment. Came back on that.
Yeah.
Seriously, like what comes back into it, and what's the year been like for you?
Well, like, I'll tell you, after I lost the match the way I did, like in a real bonehead way, I was like, man, was this a good thing that I came back or not? And that's just like negative thought popped in. And it's like, it is a good thing, even if it's for the benefit of the people around me, which I do like aim, and I think I do like impact people around me with like positivity and teaching the younger guys everything I know. Whether or not that translates to me having success, it's already translated to other guys having success, and I want to keep helping in the ways I can. So I think this is a good thing, first off, whether or not I thought that after my match, but it does feel like I'm signing up for more hurt sometimes, but then it's also like, don't be emotional about it and just keep working and see what happens. And you don't deserve anything, and damn, I was close to the Olympics twice, and I've 3 Olympics in a row. I've had opportunities to qualify the weight for the U.S. One year I didn't get to go to the games. One year I won, I didn't, but I won Olympic trials. So it's, hopefully Goldilocks situation. It'll be just right this time. But if it's not, I guess whether I walk away or I don't, I can say I really tried, and maybe I'll feel like a failure. But I don't know a champion that isn't someone who's failed a lot. And I think that was a little bit better way of thinking about what I just did in my last match is that, Michael Jordan talks about missing a lot of, buzzer beater shots to lose. And that's why he makes them now. And so take this experience and be smarter. For me, it was a really rushed season. I can't make up for lost time in a matter of a couple months. I was a full-time college coach. And not making excuses, but that's just what I was. I was doing comedy, and I was coaching wrestling, and I'm good enough to where I can come back and make the team. I'm good enough to where I can come here and I can wrestle better than I just did. I think I could qualify the weight still, so there's an upside to that. I feel like this is not my best, but I kind of came out here and just put it on the line with a lack of proper preparation. And I don't think I'm at least proud that I'm not scared of that. You know what I mean? I think that I could have easily talked myself out of doing this because there wasn't enough time. And I just said, screw it, let's go. And my bags were packed, and I was on the mat with a singlet on again, whether or not my body looks great. But it got better over the last couple months. But yeah, I've been lifting for a little bit over a month with Mason, and I'm just becoming a full-time athlete again. So it's being a little bit reasonable with my performance too. It's hard to do, but I should be because I've only been back for a few months. So
yeah, I think it says something you can already make too.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I guess last thing we'll do, what's the next year look like for you?
Yeah, I immediately talked to Justin Ruiz that I want to formulate a plan and actually train with a periodized plan with science behind it. You know what I mean? Instead of just going balls to the wall and working as hard as I can and going overseas as much as I can, which you got to be smarter. You got to focus on effectiveness. And I can't just make myself or other people feel better because I'm working really hard. No, I want to be effective. I want to form a plan. And Herb House is already talking to me about what our timeline's going to look like. I'm going to wrestle in Pan Am Games in Chile next month. But then we got a U.S. Open, got to win it. Pan Am Championships, Pan Am qualifiers in, I think, March. And then Olympic trials in April. And we'll throw in a couple of international tournaments and camps in January, February, and stuff like that. So it's going to be a full schedule. So for me, being, going to be 33 next year, I gotta, with this big schedule, I gotta recover and be smart. And, if it's up to me, I'll compete every week, but my body won't allow it anymore, so I got to worry about being smart with the mileage and with a peaking plan, so hopefully you see me win the Olympic qualifier again and win Olympic trials again and do it at the same time and then go to the games, and have some fun. So that's the plan, and just try and execute.
Anything else for you?
Nah, man, I guess I can say shout out to Mitchell Steed. This is Steed Coffee. He wrestled for Grunwald at Wheaton College, and now he's got a coffee company in Bellingham, Washington. So shout out. Oh yeah, they got all kinds of roasts. They'll deliver it to your house. Yeah. Yep. See you guys.